Hi, welcome to my channel and welcome back to the Hunter Call of the Wild. Thank you to Expansive Worlds and the Hunter Network for this early access look at the brand new game feeder pack. This is the first few days I had with the pack, so it is kind of like the first look, my first look at what this pack is and what the feeders entail. So I'm asking questions and figuring out how they work as we go. So that's what these clips are, or just me figuring out how the game feeders work and how you can place them and refill them, and every question that you guys would have I hopefully answered in this video. The game feeder pack is out tomorrow along with patch 8.3 on Tuesday, October 21st, but you can wishlist this pack right now. It'll be out across all platforms on Tuesday, October 21st. And if you'd like to see the highlights coming out alongside this pack in patch 8.3, watch my previous video I posted. But I hope you enjoy this look in this video of my first few days with these brand new game feeders, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, whenever you download your game feeders DLC, you will find it in the store here under portable structures as game feeders. But because you purchased the DLC, for me at least, it was already in my inventory as portable structures. But let's go back to the store here. As you can see, we have the bait barrel, the box feeder, and the post feeder. We have the bait barrel that is 10,000 coins and 10 pounds, or whatever the weight measurement is. The box feeder is 12,000 coins and 6 weight credits, and the post feeder is 12,000 coins and 8 weight units. Now, these three do not fit into your pocket by themselves. You do need to put on a backpack, and the medium backpack is perfect. So I actually just put them into a loadout with themselves and binoculars, no weapons, no nothing. And they almost take up the whole backpack of the medium one. And so that is all three of them in your backpack. And I have learned that you cannot place them within 300 meters of each other. So you're not going to be placing them on top of each other, which I think is really beneficial because, you know, you're making a feed zone for animals. So you definitely don't want them on top of each other. You don't want to confuse the animals. And also, overall, how they work is you place them, and then during feed zones, animals choose whether or not they want to go to your feeder rather than the feed zone that they already know. But they have to pass by the feeder and actively choose to go there and recognize it as a food source rather than the feed zone that they are used to. So that's the three feeders in what their pricing and weight units are. And of course, as you're placing them, they place like any other structure. And once they're placed, you fill them with whichever feed you want to fill them. And each time you pick them up, the feed gets reset. So once you replace them, you have to replace the feed. So make sure you're cognizant of where you're placing it and when you fill it, because I don't want you spending money that you don't have to. I do, however, think this is a good money sink for those of us who've played for a long time. As you can see, I have 15 million in-game credits, in-game coins, and I've run out of things to purchase, and other than the tents and tripods for grinds. So I think, especially if you're interested in this type of gameplay or hunting style that you want to emulate from your real life, this is definitely a good thing to spend your money on, and it's nice to have something else. And something that I also really like, you can remotely refill your feeder. So as you can see, it tells you in the bottom right that there's 70% of bait remaining. And then when you click on it, it's about 1% off whenever you actually click on it. So it's 69 here, 70% as like the overview. but you can refill it remotely. So you can either refill what you already had it filled with and it'll just be the remainder, or you can change the feed completely and fully fill it with and pay the full price. So that's really cool that it's remote, and it will not spook the animals whenever you refill it remotely, which is also really cool. All right, out here on Layton, I think I want to set the box feeder up. See if we can get some whitetail, blacktail, maybe some elk in here. So this is a feed zone. So let's go put this over kind of out of the way from where their established feed zone is, because the trick with these is you have to place them in a place, you have to place them where animals will see it, and then they have to remember that it's there. They won't instantly be attracted to it. They have to see it and recognize it as a food source before they decide to go there over their known feed zone, if that makes sense. So let's move it away from their known feed zone and see if they will choose this over what they know. All right, let's go ahead and put this here. So we've deployed it. Now, okay, we refill it. Oh, okay. So they refill it and it's inactive because there's nothing full. It's not full, so it's inactive. It needs to be refilled. It's at 0%, it's empty. And this is how you have the options. So either fortified pellet feed or multigrain flake mix. I assume these attract different things. So let's go ahead with the fortified pellet feed. Now it is feeding. And if we clicked on it again, it's 100%. I don't know. Let's try. Switching to another type of bait or feed will dispose. Okay. So you can change it if you want to. So I guess it's kind of like fill it with one and see what it attracts. I main menued since I spooked everything out of the zone, so I had to re-walk back to my box feeder that I put on Layton. But yeah, this was a main menu and a time reset, so it's back to blacktail time. Blacktails eating and lying down. They're just like monopolizing this feeder. That's awesome. But they're just kind of like actually utilizing it. So what does it say now? We see they're feeding. Okay, 1% went down. It's 97 now because they're actively feeding. It's also still their food zone, their feed zone. 12 to 16, they're feeding. So they actively chose the feeder. Oh, they're attentive now. They actively chose the feeder over their known feed zone, a spot that they're used to, which is really cool. And it would seem like others were coming in. So let's hurry and get up here and see if more will come in. I also really want a bear to come through and just destroy it. And I want to see what the cost is to fix it. A little later on Silver Ridge Peaks. As you can see, my feeder needs repair, which means a bear destroyed my feeder. And I missed it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the bear ripped open the feeder. Okay. We have the bear tracks leaving the scene of the crime. That is actually really cool. And it costs $1,200 to repair it. And you just push your button and it needs to be refilled, of course. We have a bear. One of your game feeders has been damaged. Where? What? Well, he was just sitting there. So, There was no... okay. There was no animation there. Just a bear. Interesting. You just like kind of push it over, I guess. Whoa. That's cool though. And this one, yeah, it's 1200 again. And now I have to refill it again. We have Roosevelt elk. Okay, so it did just switch over to Roosevelt elk food time, feed zone, and they chose to eat at, they're choosing to eat at the feeder. So it seems that it has to be during their feed zone time, like when they usually would be feeding, but they can choose to eat at the feeder rather than to feed at their usual feed zone. That's so cool. I saw the switch between the blacktails and the Roosevelt elk. Of course, this blacktail's alert, but that is so cool that the elk are like, oh, it's our turn because it is their time. It's 1642, and their feed zone is set 16 to 20. All right, so I'm out here on Vurhonga, and I have a structure here, which is like 221 away, and I can't put a bear barrel or a bait barrel down here. So I'm assuming I have to be like 300 away. So you can't just like line them up. I want to see if these work for warthogs. So you can't put two next to each other. Alright, so we are now... yeah, we're like 300 away. So that's how far away you have to be for them to be able to place them. And yeah, you can't try to deploy another one, so I can't go and put one of the box feeders down here to try and, you know, do warthogs with this one and like spring buck with the box feeder. That's good to know. So let's put the mash in there, see if we can get some warthog. The feeder works really well for warthogs. Holy! I just placed it there to see. Uh-huh. That's a big warthog, holy. Yeah, the feeder's working really nice for warthogs. Let's go. It's always so hard to see the warthogs like in the underbrush, so it's nice to kind of get them out so we can see them. Man, this is like a highway for warthogs. Oh my gosh. Guys, I just set up this feeder to see if springbuck will feed there. I'm like in the middle of Vurhonga, right? I was just like looking at all these springbuck, was not really paying attention, and then I realized that this is a level 5 feeding at the new post feeder, because I figured springbuck probably aren't tall enough to feed from the box one. Guys, there's a level 5. I haven't seen a level 5 since True Horns. I have a old one. That's wild. Let's use the 257. Look at that. Let's freaking go. I'm so excited. I don't know if it'll make it or not, but that's exciting. Absolutely decimated. Let's go. But as you can see, I have the multi-grain flake in here. So let's see if this guy is a diamond. I think they do have, even with the true horns, I think they do troll, but I literally had no idea that there was a 5, and unfortunately I didn't have any replay going, or I would have gotten my initial reaction because I squealed. I was so excited. So let's see if this guy's a diamond. And he was feeding. That's so exciting. Let's go. Oh no, it's not. It's a troll. But still, a troll by almost 2. What, like 1.6 or something? But still feeding at one of the brand new post feeders. That's pretty epic. My first ever level 5 from Truehorn's Springbuck 2. Let's go. And you too could get cool trophies at your feeders. We have a bear at the post feeder. I guess Pronghorn liked the feeder. Dang, I was hoping maybe Bison would. I guess they're drinking right now. Pronghorn approved. So I'm here on Tiawaroa, and I put up the box feeder for fallow. It's fallow time, and as you can see, it's 96%. We can see that there are fallow eating. While I also put a feeder up with the tar. It's 7:38 and tar do eat at this time, and the bait is still at 100%. So I hate to inform you that the feeders do not work for goat or sheep species because the bighorn sheep weren't eating on SRP, and the tar and chamois are not eating up here in Tiawaroa. And the bison also were not eating at the post feeders. So it's a little unfortunate, but of course we can't expect everything to feed. That'd be a little too OP. Oh, look, we got a pig at the bait barrel. There we go. There we go. He's eating the bait. He's eating the bait. Look at that. Oh, yeah. You know I couldn't not look at the bear barrel for bears. And instead of black bears, I decided to come here to Reventuli Coast, which we're getting that beautiful symphony of goose honks, but we have big bears eating from the bear barrel, and I knew it was being eaten because it said it's 96% bait. Although this one says 95, so this is a little, this one rounds up, this one is, I don't know which one's which. And then we can refill it remotely if we wanted to. But I put meat scraps here in Reventuli for the bears, and they're using the bear barrel. So it's not just for small bears. Oh no, no. It's for the biggest bears too. Now, whenever they drink, you know, during the day, is it worth getting them in their feed zone at night? I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it, but it is pretty cool. And I really do like it for the boars as well. This has been my first few hours with the feeders. I hope this video was helpful and answered some of your questions. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on these feeders and you can implement them into your hunts however you see fit. Please go check out my other video that I released where I talked about the highlights in the patch that comes out alongside this pack, patch 8.3. I took a look at the concept art of all the new Great One Grey Wolf fur variations, so you definitely want to go check that out. Stay tuned for my stream tonight where we're going to use one of the new feeders to try and get a pesky level 5 mule deer down off of my Silver Ridge Peaks. That will be at 10 p.m. EST as usual. The game feeder pack and patch 8.3 is out tomorrow, Tuesday, October 21st. And of course, thank you so much for watching this video and my other video. I look forward to seeing you in my stream tonight. Have a good one. Bye.